You know, I kind of had an idea of who I thought Ishmael was and what I thought he was going through, but I didn't want to look into it too much. I didn't want to come up with too much of a characterization of Ishmael, because I wanted to leave myself open to what Jake's ideas were, even what Lenny's ideas were, the director, as well as Gene, and even Patrick, the conductor, because he has an idea musically of how he wants it. And Patrick has done most of Jake's premieres, so if not all of them, I think. So I did have an idea, but I didn't want to be set on that idea without having worked with everyone else. Plus, I do a lot with the character Queequeg, and depending on how Jonathan is doing Queequeg is also going to change the way that my relationship is with him. It's a very tricky piece. The time signatures change every few measures, sometimes every 2 measures, sometimes every 5. The tonality is different than what I would be used to. And I had a hard time in the beginning just kind of getting the feeling of what Jake wanted, because I've never done any of Jake's music prior to that. So, and that's one of the reasons I called him maybe 2 months before we started and said, hey, I'm going to come out to San Francisco for a week before this Dallas production, and I'd like to work with you. And it was great because he cleared up all of my questions. I mean, it just got that much easier having worked with him for, I think I worked with him for about 4 or 5 days here in San Francisco. And you can ask him questions. You can say, well, why did you write this instead of this? Because this is where my mind takes me. This is, like, you know, from this note to this note is where I want to go. Why did you go from here to here? And he just really clears it up and makes it a lot easier to understand, to learn it and put it in your voice. I love my aria Human Madness because it's one of the only times that you can sing on stage with an orchestra with just one instrument playing. I mean, and that's all it is. It's just the only thing that's underneath me is really an oboe.
It flows like the unabated hot sun.
And it's cool because you can have the freedom to sing softer, try new things with your voice that you couldn't necessarily do with a bigger orchestration at that time. So for me, vocally, that's one of my favorite sections.
It flows to the ocean of dreams.
Moby-Dick should be in the standard rap. It should be done a lot in different houses because it's like a breath of fresh air. I'm one that really likes seeing the old grand productions of opera, and this is a new grand production, and it doesn't stray so far from the novel. Meaning, it's not like, we're not running around in like chicken costumes doing our interpretation of Moby-Dick. I mean, it's a very good, authentic Moby-Dick put on stage. And even we have a lot of people from the Melville Society that we've met through the years of doing this, and they've just been so complimentary of the piece, what we've done, and how we've actually captured the characters and captured the feeling of the Pequod and the feeling of being on that ship, and what Melville had interpreted in the book, and that we've brought it to life on stage. So that's really cool because these people have really studied a lot of Melville's works, and for them to really enjoy what we're doing is just a big compliment to us.